Maps that will make you confused. US Senate vote on passing 1965 Voting Rights Act. So it was the act to allow people of all races to vote in the US. And each state got 2 senators. So states in the deep south said, no, we don't want that. Surprisingly, in Texas, 1 senator said yes and 1 senator said no. Essentially, the rest of the states said yes. However, there's one state that will make you surprised. And it's Nevada. You could ask, why is this surprising? Well, because both senators didn't show up. Maybe they were like, do you have to vote? No, I'm going back to sleep. Poland back then and now. My goodness, Poland in the 17th century used to be massive. I'm Polish, so let's go Poland. And it's Poland now, not as big, but still quite big for European standards. Bring the glory days back to Poland though. Or maybe don't, I don't know. All of the countries mentioned in the Bible. I'm just wondering how this map actually works. Because Italy, for example, is quite a new country. Spain is not new, but it's not that old. It doesn't date back to Jesus. So maybe if the Bible mentioned Sicily, for example, the person that made this map just said, I'm going to highlight all of Italy. I doubt the Bible mentioned Sicily, but you get my point. Countries where Wikipedia editors have been prosecuted. This is literally such an obvious map if you think about it. Belarus is basically mini Russia, then you get the actual Russia. You also get China. I had no idea they can access Wikipedia in China. Same in North Korea, they literally cannot access the internet in North Korea and somehow managed to edit Wikipedia. It must have been a government official if you think about it. Because literally, who can access Wikipedia in North Korea? Which Balkan countries are in NATO? So nearly all of the Balkan countries are in NATO. Is Greece a Balkan country? I wouldn't say so. And also, why is Albania in NATO? Who's going to attack Albania? I don't think Italy will attack Albania. Well, they've done it once in the past, I think, during World War II. And I'm pretty sure Serbia will never join NATO because they have connections to Russia. Poverty in South America. Percent of population living with less than $5.50 per day. That's really not a lot of money to live on. So in 2012, the situation in South America really wasn't that bad. It was slightly worse in the north, but still nothing too bad. However, 10 years later in 2022, things got very bad, and I mean very bad. Argentina went from 4% poverty to 36% poverty. That's crazy, actually. That's a crazy increase. And Venezuela went from 29% to 90% today. Venezuela is such a waste. They literally should be rich. They have so much oil, but one day they woke up and decided not to use it and decided to be poor, essentially. British versus Mongol Empire. So 2 largest empires in the history of the world. I think the British Empire was especially impressive because they literally had land on all of the continents. Not in Antarctica though, I know that. But the Mongol Empire was massive too. From South Korea to today's Poland, which is crazy. By the way, why is it pre-World War II map of Europe? This is literally Germany pre-World War II. And Poland too. What is the person that made this map suggesting? Population change in the world. So orange and yellow means decrease in population. Blue and purple means increase in the population. It's really sad to look at Europe. This continent is basically dying. And Eastern Europe is particularly bad. And I'm especially worried about countries such as Latvia or Lithuania because there are barely any people living in those countries now. So what if there are no people left in those countries? Who will take over the land? No, I'm joking. And the population increase in Africa is massive. Dark purple means 100% increase. Wow, I don't even know what to say, to be honest. Even Asia, which is known for having a lot of people, isn't growing that fast. Countries based on closest capital city. Europe doesn't look that different, I think. Do you know what? I take my words back. It looks very different, actually. Ireland basically took over the UK. Switzerland is one of the biggest countries in Europe now. Russia got pretty small and Kazakhstan got huge. And Mongolia brought back the Mongol Empire. Australia lost a lot of its land. Which makes sense. They don't need that much land for 25 million people. And Mexico took back all of its former land from the USA. And Cuba took Florida, which is essentially Cuba anyway. And Africa looks suspiciously similar. Territorial expansion of San Marino. So San Marino is a very small country inside of Italy. And I mean actually inside of Italy. Look. So they got their independence just with the red land. But they thought, our country is too small, we need more land, let's get more land. And they took the green land, but they still said it's not enough, we need more land. So they took the blue land, but surprisingly it still wasn't enough. So they took the purple land. What is next? San Marino? I think Italy should be actually worried. US counties where Hispanic population is 50% or higher. I think southern Texas makes sense, it's very close to Mexico. So when Mexican people move to the US, they just say, let's live in southern Texas, it's very close to home. Which kind of makes sense, I guess. I knew California is very Hispanic, but I thought it's only southern California here, and the mainly Hispanic counties go all the way to San Francisco, essentially. New Mexico is quite Hispanic. I mean, it's literally called New Mexico. And I'm surprised there's only 3 counties in Florida. I've lived in Florida, I've met so many people from South America. They are really lovely people. Pre-World War I map found at a French school. Okay, if this map was found at a French school, why does it literally scream Berlin? And it only says Paris. You know, Paris, tiny Paris. Same with Londres, tiny Londres. But Berlin is massive. The font is massive. I have a strange suspicion this could be a German map. Population density in Russia. So dark green basically means no people. And look at the amount of dark green. This is crazy. And it's such a massive area if you think about it. Seems like people in Russia only live here, which is Moscow, I believe. And here, which is St. Petersburg, I think. It's the second largest city in Russia. Russia needs more people, I would say. Would you fight for your country? So in Germany, no one would fight for Germany. Polish people say, yes, we would fight for Poland. And essentially every Turkish person would fight for Turkey. I am really not surprised. The percent of Western Europe is really low overall.